season while reading a good book is what today screamed like, let's all just stay on the couch. Nobody goes anywhere.
Well, there are some
Can we agree to this?
There are some rainy days. Yes, everybody must agree to it.
Yeah.
Where it's still light outside. It's dark out there today. It's dreary.
Yeah, it is. It says, it screams, let's not do anything. Let's not do work. Let's read. Let's better ourselves. Let's sip good coffee. Let's hang out.
Also on the temperature control thing, I'm so glad to be back in a control room where it's cool, because the one at the previous FM dial stop was 85 degrees by the time we got to the second hour of the show. And now that's no longer the case. And in the original building we were in on the FM dial, it was the other way. You would fry at 80 to 90 degrees, and I would be cool as could be.
I don't want to relive it. I don't like going through the nightmarish process of thinking back into the recesses of my mind, how every day with great anger I would sit across from you and note how comfortable, almost chilly, you looked on the other side of the glass. You're like, ooh, it's a little nippy in here. Better get a jacket on. And meanwhile, I am just profusely sweating. I could have been butt naked and I would have been sweating. It was so hot on the other side.
Yeah, if we had thought about it when they first put that monstrosity divider in the studio, we should have put it the other way.
We could have each had a vent. That the both of us had a vent. Is right.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Flipped it. Yes.
I had two.
Yeah. You had two just freezing you out the joint. I had none, burning ass. It was awful. I was furious the whole time. Okay, I don't know, Tom. I'm trending the wrong way this week. I think you know this. I don't like this game. I don't think we match up at all. I do think the only chance Florida State has is if this defensive line, which lost a key member, thanks to those sons of bitches at Louisville, which I'm still furious about, and that kid, anyhow. So losing Briggs infuriates me, and then I know that they're going to get worn down because they have to carry the team. The linebackers aren't any good. The secondary is a mess. And so I worry about that. They do have a chance if they can get to him and get his eye level down. He's been beat up this year. I'm talking about Howell. Maybe, just maybe, you're in this thing. And again, game pressure does weird things to heavy favorites. We found that out. I understand that. So maybe, just maybe, as prohibitive favorites, North Carolina looking to beat Florida State, a team they couldn't beat a year ago, and everybody under the sun did, and they couldn't. So the pressure is on them as 18-point favorites at home. Max never beat his alma mater, all of that. Get them thinking about it into the third quarter. Survive the first half. And I just worry about the whole surviving the first half thing because I don't know what. So listen, you think about this. If North Carolina has decided, and they have for much of this year, look, we leave in our corners. We've got athletic kids at corner. We've got really good athletes. We've recruited the position exceptionally well, and they have. And they say, you know what? Looking at this film, and everybody who looks at Florida State's film will do exactly this. Looking at this film, these receivers are terrible. Not only are they terrible, they're so bad that Florida State's just decided to put running backs out here and throw to them because they don't trust their receivers to do much of anything. So, you know what, guys? Feel pretty good about it. Little press. Let's go up here and challenge their manhood and see if they can get off a press and get open in a timely fashion. Because Lord knows they can't block it up long enough for long developing shot plays, really, on a consistent basis. Now we do some things to trick you, get your eyes coming up, and then we throw the shot play later in the game. We're good at that. We will do that. We dial up 2 or 3 a game. Got to hit them. You hit one against Notre Dame. You hit one against Wake Forest. You've hit a couple where there were busts where you've set it up. But by and large, you don't have a real good passer back there, and you don't block it up for long periods of time. So Carolina's like, look, man, we can kind of take away what we want to take away. We can kind of do whatever we want to do here. And I don't know, maybe these guys, and it's asking an awful lot, especially of freshmen, redshirt freshmen and the like, to win those battles. But I would argue, Tom, even if they win those battles, you really suspect that Jordan Travis is going to put it on him? I mean, he had a chance to throw an easy touchdown pass last week in man coverage, and if you're even, you're leaving, and he doesn't lead him, and he doesn't throw it to the proper side of the shoulder. He doesn't throw, it's not even close to him. So,
Well, if you look at North Carolina's pass rush rating, and this is according to the advanced metrics, it's not good. So that's one thing. You've got weakness against weakness happening here with North Carolina's line against Florida State's offensive line. And if we have the 5 that we envisioned starting the season out there on Saturday, maybe there are a few plays out there that you have time and somebody comes open. I know that's a crazy concept in Tallahassee, the idea of a quarterback having time before delivering the football, but North Carolina is deficient in that part of the game. Now, you can bring extra pressure if you want to press up on the outside. That allows you to bring a fifth or a sixth guy, but we'll see. The path to this game being competitive all begins and ends with our front four against, and that's where you started. But they've given them 13 sacks the last 2 weeks, has North Carolina. 13 to Duke and Georgia Tech. I repeat, Duke and Georgia Tech. That's where this game can really get interesting because Sam Howell, I want to call him Sal. Okay, fine.
What's up, Sal?
What's up, Sal? He's been affected by all the hits he's taken.
He's taken
his internal clock. He leaves the pocket when there's no reason to leave it. The ghosts are there. The eyes come down. But if you don't remind him of that early and he gets comfortable, then he's going to slice and dice us over the middle.
Let me ask you a question. Well, everybody will slice and dice us over the middle. Let me ask you a question.
But he's actually good at it. Like bad quarterbacks will do it. Yeah.
Oh, boy, we saw. Yeah. Let me go through this. I'm looking at the numbers right now while we're on this game. It's supposed to rain all day. Good. Let it be a slop fest. Let it be a nightmare track. Let's just slow it down where everybody's slow. Now we're all slow.
There has not been enough.
Everybody's slow.
Not enough wet ball drilling. Not enough.
The balls are wet. So let's get that going. Let's get this to be an ugly-ass game that our defensive front controls. And, look, now, again, I don't know how well Jordan Travis throws the wet ball. I don't know how well Sam Howell throws a wet ball. It's a great mystery.
We rep it every Friday. That's what Mike said. We rep it every Friday. So.
Well, I have no doubt they're prepared for it. I just don't know how good they are at it.
They could just leave the footballs outside as they're working in the IPF all week, and it'll be plenty soaked.
They prepare a lot on special teams. Just hasn't mattered much. So, I'm saying there's all of that.
Yeah.
But I do like that. Let's neutralize everything. Go ahead and get this thing just swampy, where it's just crazy wet, and it's just look at this, balls everywhere. I don't know look at another fumble. We got it. How about that? What crazy turnover luck today. They fumbled 3 times inside their 20. Woohoo! Yeah, who knows? You turn it into a free-for-all where the talent is neutralized by inclement weather. But it is, I'm looking at it, starting, I'm going all the way to Friday, Tom. Friday, 7 a.m., the heavens open up in Chapel Hill. It begins to rain. Over 70% chance. Now, we don't trust weathermen around here. Very seldom do they get it right. We don't dislike
or
them.
Anywhere.
No, it's not specifically here.
It's not like a Tallahassee thing.
No, it's just, those people in Tallahassee, conspiracy theorists, they don't believe in the weather. They think the government controls it. No, so it's very unique to Tallahassee. So 7 a.m., it starts to rain in Chapel Hill, and then it just stays rainy all damn day. And then you get into Saturday at 10 a.m. I'm starting on Friday. I want that field improperly drained, all of it. Then Saturday, 53% chance first thing in the morning.
Ooh, 53?
Yep, just 53.
I would not have been concerned at 51, but 53? Yeah. All right, the radar is up.
Yeah, it's up. Now, what time are we kicking off again?
3:30.
Oh, yeah, every week. 3:30 by 3:30, 1 p.m.
It's better than 8 p.m. ACC Network. Thank you very much.
55%, 58%, depending on where you're looking. I'm doing a lot of detailed forecast radar map seeking right now on the Jeff Cameron show.
Well, that's because we can't line up and play it. That's what you're saying. You're looking for the weather.
Oh, come on, weather. That's where I'm at. That's how I begin today's show. Let's hope the weather's awful. I laughed when I read the quote this week because I get you. There's no right way to say this if you're a coach. At the end of the day, I'm quoting Mike Norvell, at the end of the day as a receiver, that's what you want. When you get your one-on-ones, you have an opportunity to go. It gives big play opportunities. North Carolina has talented guys out there on the perimeter. But for us, well, I believe we have talented guys out there on the perimeter. You do you? You're going to deny the overwhelming evidence that has laid before you over the last 5 games. They're there. It's in there. It's getting ready. We're going to spring it on them this week. It's going to happen. So he went on to say, we have got to take advantage of those moments when they show up. You have to say that. All jokes aside, you have to say that. You do have some young kids that I think down the line are going to be pretty good players. It is a lot to ask of a redshirt freshman or a true freshman to be a dominant player at wide receiver, unless they're of the transcendent variety. And I don't think we believe that Florida State has transcendent receivers on this roster. Zero. None. There are no guys that you look out there and go, oh, my. There's Peter Warwick's not walking through that door. So you don't see that right now with this group. Now, maybe you have one in the form of Travis Hunter, both at DB and wide receiver when he is here in Tallahassee next year. We'll see. Or maybe you get a couple of guys. Maybe you find a transfer portal guy who's better than Parchment. It's possible. Who knows? But in the interim, they don't currently exist on this roster. But there are guys that will develop by the time they're juniors, I think, to being pretty good players. I think that's possible. So you're not going to dog them when you get asked the question this week, but you know what's coming. And as a coordinator, if you're Dillingham, the frustration is that, well, God, they're walking right into what we would normally want at Florida State University. You want to be a man and take on the athletes at Florida State University? You want it? Okay, but we're not that Florida State University. We are not that program currently, and we're not close to it. And it's tough because you would love to walk into a game where you knew, based on formation, based on history, that they were going to challenge your athletes, especially if you were here at Florida State. You'd say, oh, my job's easy this week. You're just going to give us what I'm trying to scheme to begin with.
Again, it's important to remind everybody, though, that these are not Georgia's corners. This group, if you're just looking at its coverage rating across the board, is bottom third in the country. So I get it. I know we're especially kind of deficient at the receiver position.
We're a special group, Tom.
I understand that. But if you're looking for a few plays, not all damn day, but you're looking for a few plays, yeah, this is the group you want to play against.
Yeah, sure. You're going to get them. Can you win them? I don't. I haven't seen evidence to suggest we will. Here's the problem. Again, you can, let's say you believe it. Let's say this is the week and they're buoyed by the victory and they have been infused with a form of confidence they didn't have prior because they got to win and all that hard work paid off. And that can happen. You can begin to have more confidence as you have success, and you can carry yourself with a bit more belief and have a sense of accomplishment as you take the field, knowing that you're capable because it panned out. That's all well and good. But do you trust that in those moments you've got a quarterback on this roster that can put it on them? And I don't. I don't currently. And that's the other frustrating aspect, is that it's twofold. It's not just that they got to win those one-on-ones, and they do, but your quarterback's got to recognize it, have time to throw it, and then put it on them.
Well, my hope is that he's healthy for 60 minutes, because if he is, you can run on this defense as well at the quarterback position.
Yeah, well, you got to run. If he's healthy, running him gives Florida State the best opportunity to win games. I think we all know that. And
that's not a special question to ask. That you have to ask that every week. He could be fine. He could be ushered in looking 100% healthy into the building. He gets off the bus and you're like, man, all right, he looks fresh today. You still have to ask the question, because we've got games on one hand that we can count, maybe even three fingers that we can count.
Rarely gets through a game
that he doesn't wince or come off limping in some point of the game. Like, it's just every time he steps out there. And if you're on a sloppy track, I think that only increases the risk of something going wrong in that regard.
Well, yeah, I mean, I never know. I never know what kind of hit it's going to be that gets him knocked out of a game. There are the innocuous hits that you see occasionally. You don't think it's anything, and you're like, he's laboring. And then other times you see him get absolutely pulverized, like twice this last game, and he pops right up and he's fine.
Yep.
So I never know what it is. I mean, it's hard to know when you're off.
But it's always something.
Yeah,
and that's not a knock on him.
Well, I think what we've clearly seen is that they have moved away from another injury, riddled, addled, if you will, player in Mackenzie Milton. Now, that's not to say Mackenzie doesn't get run either this game or later in the year, because as we've said all year long, it looks like we're going to need both for a variety of reasons, some good, some bad.
Oh, please. Based upon the way the depth chart is shaken out every week, it's like the opposite. So I fully expect Mackenzie to have 80% of the snaps. When they dropped Jordan off of the list as the co-starter, it was Jordan's show, and then Mackenzie, it doesn't make any damn sense.
Hey, settling on what is a sort of, I hesitate to call it gimmicky. They go to the screen game, the quick game a lot. And then off of that, they can run some slants. They did the little slip play that they run there for Keyshawn Helton. That was good to see you incorporate that now. That's not an ideal offense. It's just a single element of their offense. It existed at Memphis as well. but it's just one element of a multifaceted offense when things are going well. But things are not going well here, so you have to play to your strengths or to what enables you to keep your quarterback upright and give you a fighting chance to attack a soft underbelly later in the game. So you go perimeter, quick game. There is something that I like about that. Now, teams will just take that away at some point. They will say, okay, we're going to take that away. You can't do that to us. We're going to make you beat us in other ways. That's fine. Make them do it. I mean, you got to have some sort of identity, and it does look like we discovered one. But there are plays off of that we showed a little bit of competence with this last game. So I hope you can continue to add to that, because in and of itself, it's singular, it's ugly. It is, by teams with athletes, easy to take away. But if you rep it enough and then you add some elements off of it, like that slip that we saw for the touchdown, one of the things that probably happens, just because of sheer repetition, is that your receivers and your tight ends, well, Cam McDonald, begin to block it up better because they're going to be asked to do it all the damn time. And it's death if you miss those blocks. It's just death. And when we see the quick game or the screen game, with teams that run it well, almost always have a guy that when you run it back, you see is a dominant blocker at receiver. You know, you remember, I mean, just watching guys, and I'm not talking about when he was here, I'm talking about in the pros. Anquan Bolden got his hands on you, that's your ass. It's over. Thanks for playing. I'm just going to go ahead and hold you here inside the numbers totally legally, and you can't do anything about it. We don't have such players currently on the roster. There are no Anquan Boldens in that way, but we have guys that are being asked to do it a lot, and some big bodies who are getting more technically sound at it. I thought the receivers blocked better in this game. Not good, but better in this game, because the whole game plan was contingent upon it. So if you do it enough, I think you rep it enough, and you do have big guys like Malik McClain and Cam McDonald doing it. Now, I know Cam completely whiffed on the interception, but I bet he didn't do that again. So, you know, maybe you got something to play off of there.
Well, yeah, you want to go. This offense has to go east and west before it can go north and south.
Yes, it does.
It has to. But they've done an effective job of coming back to the concepts that they established in the first and second quarter the last 2 weeks. Like it's been much
everything
better.
Off of it. It's you're establishing it. It can be ugly. This is where your defense playing well in the first quarter is so important. So you don't get down by multiple scores and have to come out of what you're trying to do.
Correct. Now the key this week to me, if he is healthy enough to do it, run the hell out of your quarterback.
Yeah.
That's how you create new openings, because now they're going to sit on those things on the perimeter like you're talking about. They're going to come up, play press. They're going to challenge you. Okay. Well, what is going to take them out of them wanting to do that? If Jordan Travis is healthy enough, how about him running the ball? How about some speed option? How about some, moving the pocket, rolling the pocket, and creating running opportunities and RPOs outside of the pocket for him? Things like that. Remember last year, he was all over the place. That's how we got to where we needed to go in the first half. It wasn't just the pick six by Kane-Do, best play he ever made here. It was also Jordan making some throws, but he was on the run and he had them off balance. And now that we put that out for 2 straight weeks, that we go wide before we can go between the tackles, you're going to have to add something else to it, which I believe to be 13's legs, should he be able to do it.
Folks reminding us that it is turf there at UNC. I don't care.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. If it's a deluge, I mean, it makes it hard. The track is difficult to get your footing on, and the ball's hard to hold on to, et cetera, and all that. It just becomes sort of a willy-nilly thing, and you do create the opportunity for real chaos, and I'm rooting for chaos. Chaos benefits the underdog. You don't want to establish status quo player for player matchup in this situation.
That's where I get a little bit more nervous for injury, though, is like that turf sometimes can grab even though you're slipping. It's got that weird element and texture to it that's not the same as grass. Like if it's muddy, it's muddy. You're just gonna fall. But if it's this kind of stuff, that's where, if you're talking about Jordan getting through 60 minutes, I worry about non-contact stuff more so on this kind of surface than I do grass.
Thanks for your contribution, Gabriel. I'll read this out loud because you did pony up here and say hello. Not that everybody has to do so, but we certainly appreciate it. Rewatch the Syracuse game and wakes away less angry at DBs and more at linebackers. The linebackers have zero communication on pass-offs or undercalls versus mesh. Linebackers aren't good. And they don't communicate. I don't think the defense communicates well, period. It's still a stumbling block for this group. The back end struggles to communicate as well as the linebackers. And the linebackers in coverage aren't good because you only have 2 players at the position that could really play at all. One of them is better in coverage than the other, obviously, because one of them is 255 pounds. So he's not going to cover people. But I would say that, that's a group that's it's going to be the bane of our existence for much of this year until you get better players in here.
Well, another thing to pay attention to this week is Sam Howell is a capable runner, and they saw Syracuse film just like we watched the game live. I would think, especially if it's going to be a muddy, well, not muddy, but a rainy, kind of sloppy circumstance on Saturday, that they might test us with Howell's legs a little bit, because they already have those plays in their playbook.
Tom, how good is your internet?
Oh, my internet?
It's wicked fast at the Cameron household. How good is yours?
Even faster, sir.
Well, you get the speed you need with our friends at Xfinity Internet, and I could go through and tell you the performance starter all the way up to the Extreme Pro, the Gig, the Blast, all of it. All I know is that you can accommodate whatever you need at your place.
Oh, I have a blast.
Yeah,
I have a blast with my internet.
Mm-hmm.
You should too. Come on, America.
Yeah, you can do that. Also, with their Wi-Fi hotspots, you can be anywhere if you have the Xfinity account and you just settle on in. You could be changing your oil, for example, Tom. Yep. Nobody likes to do that. You're sitting down, getting your oil changed. Like, what am I going to do here? I'm going to surf the web. That's what I'm going to do, because I'm incapable of sitting with myself, my own thoughts. I've got to be distracted. But how do I get distracted? With good Wi-Fi, thanks to the hotspots from Xfinity.
That's correct. And in home, I can tell you on Saturdays that as we're doing the post-game show, streaming video out over to the masses, the thousands and thousands that watch the Warchant.com post-game call-in show, I've got two screens.
Or the pregame.
Well, that's true. The pregame show, but this is my home internet. We don't.
I'm just in the internet. So good everywhere.
Everywhere. Right? Yeah, everywhere Xfinity is, you've got great internet. But I've got two live games behind my screen there, so I can see what's going on in different markets. But I need good internet to be able to do all those things. Time was not that long ago as a country, if you're trying to stream video out, you need to turn everything off in your house. Mm-hmm. Not so anymore with Xfinity.
It's come a long way, this country, thanks to Xfinity. To get started, call 1-800-XFINITY. Visit Xfinity.com or drop into an Xfinity store today for more details. And, yeah, that's good. That's an endorsement, but it's a ringing one. Jeff Cameron, Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio. Warchant TV continues in a moment.
Real Talk 93.3 wants you to win $1,000. Why? Because money talks.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Your next chance to win is coming up during the Jeff Cameron Show at 2 p.m. Listen out for the keyword, then click on the Real Talk Money megaphone at realtalk93.com. Money talks. Everything else can take a walk.
Money, I just can't get enough.
Hi, it's Chris Kraft. If you want luxury that speaks to you, if you want a car that exudes class, then come into Infiniti of Tallahassee and reserve your very own all-new 2022 QX60. It's sleek and it's sexy, where state-of-the-art meets real life. Pitch and slide second row seats offer easy access to the third row or cargo, even when a child seat is involved. Google it, you'll see. That's real life, and that's the all-new Infiniti QX60. Come get yours. Infiniti of Tallahassee, next to Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive.
Hey, Noles fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state government, including public health and emergency response agencies, our friends at ISF recognize September as National Preparedness Month and want to help you be safe this hurricane season. Visit ISF.com to learn more and download your emergency preparedness plan today. ISF, solving the future.
If you know me, you know how I feel about supporting local. You also know that I love dad jokes. So it really bugs me when somebody I know calls anyone other than Paul's Termite and Pest Control. This year marks 50 years that Paul's has been servicing our community as a family-owned business. That really means something. All treatment decisions are made right here, not some corporate headquarters 100 miles away, but right here. Local knowledge means they know exactly when and how to beat certain issues that are unique to our region. All decisions about North Florida made by North Floridians, and being local doesn't always mean small. Paul's is the largest locally owned termite, pest, and lawn company in the region, but you'll always get the small town treatment and quick service also. Paul's offers a same-day treatment guarantee if you call by noon. If you see something in the morning that's not supposed to be in your house, call Paul's and they'll get them all that same afternoon. It's that easy. For the elimination of termites or any other pests, and for a greener lawn too, visit callpauls.com.
T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark, T-SparkConstruction.com. We conquer all peaks, we fix those darn leaks. Call 850-766-1340. T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark, TSparkConstruction.com.
License number CCC 1331204. We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
I'll never forget
that moment.
As long as I live.
My first call-up ever as a member of the National Guard.
When we got to the armory, they briefed us on the wildfires. They were getting dangerously close to homes.
Helicopters were going out to drop water on the fires.
Guys in the unit were preparing for firefighting with local fire crews.
At that moment, I got my first taste of just how important the Guard is to my community.
See how the Guard can be an important part of your life at NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Florida National Guard. Aired by the Florida Association of Broadcasters and this station.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
McCaffrey, yes, I think there are 700 McCaffreys, and they all work in football, and they're all uber talented in their own way, was reprimanded for inadvertently hitting an opposing fan, Tom. When you just read that line, you're like, oh, that's awesome. So he hit a fan, but then you find out how it happened. He inadvertently hit an opposing fan, with a broken clipboard during a 40-7 loss to Montana State. So they're taking an ass beating. He's frustrated, slams the clipboard down and disregards it, and it hits somebody in the face.
Oh.
Yeah, it gets you some of that.
That's no good.
He is the eldest brother of Carolina Panthers and former Stanford running back Christian McCaffrey, if you're wondering. He broke that clipboard while on the sidelines, tossed it into the stands. It struck a Montana State fan in the face. Good on the Montana State fan, because I thought, oh, man, here it comes. We live in a litigious society.
Ow!
Suing? I'm going to sue you. No. The fan said, thanks for the apology. I appreciate it. I understand tempers happen. I just want the other half of the clipboard signed so I could have it.
Oh, what a great answer.
There you go.
That is cool.
There you go. Don't be an ass. You know he didn't mean to do it.
So you remember the show contributor story. This
Chris?
is Boston College.
My man.
Boston College years and years ago when I was in school, and we could not stop the Boston College zone read to end the game. I believe we had a blackout that night, the blackout uniform.
Yes, and the kid was the slowest kid on the planet.
Correct.
Yes.
In NCAA football terms, he had 47 speed.
It was unbelievable, and they just kept calling it. You're like, oh, God, time has passed, Mick.
It's 3rd and 6.
Yeah.
And this kid with 47 speed is able to get 10 yards. And by the second or third time it happened, to convert a first down and ice the game away, he is so frustrated. He's calmed down in his later years that he threw a
show contributor. Chris is now even keel. He's like a pothead. He's totally calm.
He is totally calm.
Yeah.
He threw a 20-ounce bottle of soda.
Yeah.
And it hit the edge of the bleachers at Doak Campbell. It shot off like a rocket, spinning around because and it gets on a couple of people about 5 rows in front of us.
I'm sure they're pleased.
They were so mad after a while that we had to get mad at them and say, stand down. It was a total
let
accident.
It go.
It's a total, he was, I'm so sorry.
You're a
I'm
little
so
out
sorry.
On yourself. You got a little out on yourself.
Is yelling at him, pointing at him. He's like, I know, I'm so sorry. And then he keeps going.
Yeah.
And
I know that moment where we stop, apologize. We're like, oh, is there going to be a problem? Yeah.
That's when I come in. I'm, hey, man.
We said
he
sorry
apologized.
3 different ways to Sunday. Don't know who else to do this. Yeah.
It turned into an issue. But that's mostly because Boston College was converting on zone reads with a quarterback with 47
Everybody
speed.
wants to fight each other when that dude is converting on zone reads, running his 6.8 40.
That's correct.
Yeah, that's a toughie. Just meandering, if you will, his way for 7 to 13 yards.
The best part was it looked like a physics experiment because it did shoot off like a rocket.
You're like, whoa, no.
Here's some Sprite for you. Enjoy.
Hey, in our youth, during losses where games mean more than they should, we've all done things we regret. That is true of any real football fan, like diehard football fan of any team at any level, particularly if you went to school here. It gets the best of you. You're not in your right mind. You probably weren't. I don't imagine that you hadn't enjoyed any spirits prior to the game. So you're not quite in your right mind. The frustration is overwhelming. You care so damn much. I remember those days. And I do care, and I still occasionally feel the vitriolic sort of the acidic the poison rising up where you're just like, I should not care this much. I'm finding myself caring in a way that is unhealthy. I'm about to say things I don't mean. My kids are going to see me in a way I wish they hadn't. But the difference is, as you get older, you deal with it better. You feel it coming on and you walk out, or you stare off into the ether. You do something that just maybe a breathing exercise. Maybe you think, listen, I got it pretty good. I'm middle class. I've got a wife and kids, or in your case, a wife and 2 beautiful cats. And you're thinking to yourself, it's all right. Everything's good here. This is a nice home. I don't need to flip out. I don't have to do that. I'm just going to calm the hell down. This team is just not very good.
I had no idea that I'd ever be converted to being a cat person. But the one thing about us in that situation is we were 19 going on 29 because we hated the student body that we went to games with, so much so that we paid for the student season tickets, which are visiting sideline, 50-yard line, way up, and it was like $215 for the year. So they gave us a discount because we were students. And there was nobody around us. That was the thing. He chucked it. There were bleachers for days, but it just had enough projectile to it that it could get down the 5 or 6 rows necessary. Like, we took the precautions to not be in a position where we're just going to be angry at kids throwing up the X or shouting Drew Weatherford is clearly the better quarterback, and then them fighting and puking on each other for 3 hours. Because that was my existence. I don't even want to know what the student section is like now.
Oh, no, this guy here has got it right. Eric writes on the chat, I'm just numb to it now. I say, hey, our stadium looks so nice on the outside. That's, Eric, that's smart. That's smart. That's what you do right there, buddy. I don't disagree with that. You got to find the, I occasionally, Tom, I'll be like, okay, I'm watching it, and I get to that place where I'm like, okay, that's where we're at. You all have heard me talk about this. I do that. I just repeat, okay. So that's what we're doing out here today. That's what, like when Jason Corbin fumbled the ball after we had the interception, that one was the first one to feel like a bit of a knife in the gut, just a little get you something.
That was true heartbreak.
Because I love that kid.
Yep.
And I'm like, you et tu, Brute?
Well,
how have you done this?
That's
to me?
what the coaches said. They said, get the hell off my field.
Well, that's ridiculous. They should have done that.
Correct.
Should have mended the wound by giving him the ball immediately following that. But nonetheless, when that happened, I was like, I immediately went to the, okay, all right. That's what we are. That's what
they're going to score now, aren't they?
Yeah, that's
even though they got to go 60 yards, they're going to score.
Yeah, no, I just realized what had happened there. I was like, all right, there we go. That's where we're at. But that's better than flipping out. And then even in the midst of that moment, even in the midst of that disappointment, I think, man, wasn't that awesome that day that Tom and I were driving on the 405 in Los Angeles with that kick-ass rental, and we were listening to Petty, and we had the windows down, and the sun was setting, and we were going to the LAX airport to fly out after winning a national championship, and we were going to belly up to that bar and hang out and flaunt our national championship Florida State gear in front of all the other sad sap Auburn fans who also had to get on a flight and fly back across the country the same way we are, only we're going to be drunkenly celebrating that flight while they're going to be drowning their sorrows. That was a good time. What a great day that was. That's what I do.
Yeah, that was chicken soup for the soul, and we weren't sick. Our soul wasn't sick.
It was full.
That one lady at the tiki bar saying it was pass interference for like a half an hour straight, and not to us, just saying
it out loud, like trying to convince herself.
There's no way. It was no way there's pass interference on Rashad Green. Like, okay, you keep telling yourself that.
You go ahead.
That's a coping mechanism. That's fine.
I didn't interrupt her. I didn't want to get into that argument. I'm like, oh, honey, you know better than that. Come on, sweet cheeks. You know damn well that was interference.
The thing that happens is as we get older, I think we get more mad about details than we do actual. Ridiculous. I just blew past that.
I let you do it.
We get mad at details more than we do like big time plays. For example, special teams. If you screw up on special teams, something obvious like don't catch the ball, that will drive me nuts.
Yeah, well, especially when the game is over. The game is over if you catch the ball.
Right.
This is crazy. Can I say this before we get a break? So I'm watching intently, as we all do, especially you and I, because we're going to have to talk about this game. We're going to have to note the big moments, the momentum shifts, or if you don't want to call it momentum, whatever, the game situations in which something flips in terms of field position or opportunity or whatever it might be, right? Before the punt, we've done this our whole career, you and I
Nope.
together. We've always recognized when there was a moment, and yes, I know, old fumble hands over there who Jimbo would always put back there. Rashad Green can't catch a damn punt to save his life. And
Clemson 2012.
Yeah, and I told you it was going to happen.
That's right.
And
Yep.
so anyhow,
Right before halftime.
I'm like, here it comes.
Yeah.
Watch this.
And we still beat their ass.
I know, but it was like you could sense it. You could just feel it. I've always had a sense
Yep.
for these things. And I'm telling you,
We had come all the way back.
mhm.
Yeah.
Like, just don't
man.
drop it. All you got to do is not drop the ball. He's going to drop the ball. Tom, watch this. Don't drop it. Oh, you
It
watch.
was like
He's
at our
gonna drop-
10-yard line,
Yeah,
too.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was
Run
coming.
away.
Yeah. And there it is. We've got it. Carolina. I'm thinking of this week's opponent. We're sitting there. They're about to punt. Syracuse about to punt. And I'm watching it. And I said out loud, all he's got to do is catch it. Just catch. Because I sensed this.
Yeah.
This
yeah.
game is over.
Mhm.
Syracuse is about to lay down. They're a beaten dog. They're done. And I'm just catch the ball. You're going to have the ball at midfield. You're going to probably go down and score because Syracuse's defense is tired. We've gotten consecutive stops. We're about to make this a 3-score game, and you can suck it. It's over. And it's about to be a runaway. And then he drops it. I'm like, God, why do we make football look so hard?
Or we get 3 first downs punted and, 3 minutes are off the clock and that's fine. Yeah, the other skill that we have in football for that actually happened on Sunday night. It hasn't happened recently a whole bunch. But when Ryan Suckup is lining up for a 39-yard field goal at Foxborough, I said to Jamie,
he's going to make that.
No, I said, that looks really far away. I don't know what that is about that 39.
It feels distant.
That looks pretty far.
Yeah, it's
Doesn't
right down the
that
heart,
look
baby.
far away for 39? She's like, yeah, it looks more like 49.
Weather conditions and what was on the line.
And he missed it. And she started laughing. She's like, I don't know how you do that. So, well, we've had a lot of bad kickers, but it was the same thing as the end of the Giants game where Bruce wanted it. They took the delay a game because
you want to back it up.
Matt Gay is better from greater distances.
Yeah,
it creates a better angle for him.
He didn't understand physics, right?
That's right. But we knew it, even though that was considered by NFL standards a chip shot at the end of the game. Everything about the way that camera set up, you're just like, something ain't right. Something ain't right. This ball can't go between those things. It's going outside.
But the suck-up kick that gave us the lead felt very good, and I knew that he was going to make that.
Yeah, I felt pretty good about that.
Oh,
too.
no. He's going to make that. Man.
There are some angles, though, where you're just like, something's wrong. I don't know what it is, but this camera is capturing subtext that we just can't explain. Here comes a miss.
Well, I think that every time Fitzgerald takes the field. I'm like, something about the angle, or maybe the kid. Something about this kick tells me it's not going through. Is it the multiple missed extra points? Is it the missed 33? I can't tell what it is. It could be the angle. I'm not real sure.
All right. Well, how about it's a 31-28 ball game. We're trailing.
Oh, what are you doing?
11 seconds to go.
Okay, so I'll take this scenario because it's 31-28 in the fourth quarter against Carolina on the road. All right.
There's been 7 turnovers, a lot of short field scores.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
We got a 47-yarder with 11 seconds to go.
No, Tom. No, 47. That's excessive.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
He will make kicks to tie games now. I feel okay about him in that situation.
I don't.
If he's got a 34-yarder with a 1-point game, I don't feel good. We're trailing by 1, 34-yarder to win the game. Well, it's a win or loss kick, not a
tie game, not a go to overtime game.
Right.
Yeah.
But you give me 47 from the right hash to tie the ball game. All right.
I don't like any scenario where that's what we need to keep the game going. I don't want.
I do, because that means we've had 3 hours of good football.
Now, we had that scenario in the Notre Dame game, and I don't know. No. I don't want that. We're not.
Well, he tied the game from distance.
No, but then he missed when we needed him to make in the overtime.
He walked off this week. We're getting there. He's got the ties down, and he's 1 for 2 in the winning department or the lead department.
This is not the week to get on him, although that was a bad snap on the extra point. I will say that. His timing got thrown off, although you could kick it backwards and make those things. Yeah. But, I mean, from there. But, anyhow, that's – and, of course, that's coming from a guy who kicked extra points in Pee Wee football, Tom, just so you know.
Oh, okay. What a legacy.
It's the Jeff Cameron Show at 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
Governor Ron DeSantis says Leon County's continued COVID-19 vaccination-based termination policy is unacceptable and infringes on medical privacy. The Leon County government said it will continue with the ordinance for all county employees to provide proof of receiving a COVID-19 vaccination after the Florida Department of Health sent a letter stating the county was violating state law. The Taylor County School District says several students deliberately and intentionally destroyed school property to show off for a TikTok challenge. In a letter sent to parents, the district warned students may face criminal charges if they partake in the vandalism challenge. The district also asked parents to speak with their children about the consequences of destroying school property. The district is also encouraging students to use the Fortify Florida app to report incidents like this or others that put students and schools personnel safety at risk. This is Rachel and A with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at macklemoresystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Scattered thunderstorms likely this afternoon, otherwise overcast skies. Highs around 78, winds out of the southeast, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Scattered thunderstorms likely tonight, lows dip down to about 70, overcast skies. Isolated thunderstorms likely tomorrow, highs around 86, mainly cloudy skies expected. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 73.
Hey, you, can't you read the sign? It says, keep off the grass.
Oh, but I just wanted to feel it.
Excuse me?
I wanted to feel what it was like to have an amazing lawn like you do. It always looks so good, even in the summertime. How do you do it, neighbor?
They're called Lawn Johns. They come once a week. Maybe you should give them a call so you can tell other people to stay off your lawn. How's that sound?
Ooh, yes. I would love to tell people to stay off my lawn. For the very best in lawn care, call the Lawn Johns at 850-322-2567. Stay off my lawn.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Greg Tish, Real Talk 93.3.
Thursday morning right here on the Greg Tish Show starting at 6 a.m. on Real Talk 93.3. We welcome in the phenomenal Dr. James Ryan Finn. We also welcome in Deputy Chief Jones from the Tallahassee Fire Department as he'll be filling in for Sarah Cooksey. Sarah wanted to talk about Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Tomorrow, we will talk about what Sarah wanted to talk about with breast cancer awareness. All starts at 6 a.m. right here on Real Talk 93.3.
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Not immune to it either, man. I get loose in the heavy season. It's just a good time. It is. You got all this football and the food just keeps coming, and you got beers and it's cold, and all of a sudden the games are good and you get carried away. And the next thing you know, you're like, God, I probably gained 7 pounds tonight. But Orange Theory Fitness is waiting upon you. Come on in. Let's run our silly asses ragged. Let's do some heavy lifting on the weight floor. Let's get to rowing and running and getting that weight off so we can do it again next Saturday. That's how you got to do.
Well, you know,
that's how you got to roll.
The key sequence is the happy hour on Friday.
Oh,
and how long does the happy hour go?
It can go long.
That's right. It can.
It can get away from
and as it parlays into Saturday morning, because if the happy hour on Friday takes away the activity on Saturday morning, now you're in trouble. Now you're on the ropes.
That's how it happens, man. That's how it happens. It's a 1-2 combo that everybody's accustomed to. Because it's what the heavy season does. It sets you up with that jab, and then bam, straight right. You're like, oh, well, looks like Monday. Looks like Monday for me to get it together.
So for the home games, when you guys are doing in front of the camera work for the Warchant Happy Hour at Corner Pocket Bar and Grill on 2475
Great place to be.
Appalachia Parkway.
Yeah, I needed to go to Orange Theory Fitness that morning
to
make sure I handled my business before taking it to CP that afternoon. Because even if I'm undoing something, I'm just undoing the good, and I'm getting back even. I'm not adding to the bad.
That's correct.
Yes.
But you go first thing in the morning on Saturday if you can get.
Oh, hell, that ain't happening. What are we talking about? It's
All right.
football
All
season,
right.
Tom.
Well,
that is not happening.
Before a couple of pregame shows this year, I was up at 5:30 doing some stuff.
You're a warrior. There's no chance that's happening for me.
It's a 5:00 show for home game, so we'll be back at it in a couple weeks' time. But the over/under I set for myself is 7:30 or 7:35. I'm like, will I be here past 7:30?
Oh,
or will I
be?
Yes, because you got to hang around and at least have a few beers.
Well, my dad comes into town, and he wants to have a cold one with everybody and say hello and talk football. Man, it's the heavy season. It's football season.
Yeah, I know.
You can't deny yourself these simple pleasures, but that's what Orange Theory Fitness is for, so that you can engage in the simple pleasures, but make sure you're keeping it on the straight and narrow. So that's what I'm saying. OrangeTheoryFitness.com, or give them a call. There's 2 places locally, so you got a lot of options.
The next time we're here for a game, which is
a couple weeks now.
A couple weeks is UMass.
UMass rolling into
Your
town,
dad's
big
not
dog.
rolling in for UMass, is he?
No, he called it today on that one. He's
Okay.
he's actually going out to Utah.
Utah for UMass.
He's going out to the mountains with his family with, well, not me because I got to work, but yeah.
All right, then it's a roadie at Clemson, then we're back. There's a chance right there. NC State Friday. We got to have the Guinness. We did not have a Guinness together this season.
That's
still have
crazy
not.
that we haven't done that.
And we've been there. We've had 3 opportunities.
We had good porters, though.
Yes, that's right.
We had some good porters.
But we do need, that's the customary, even if it's the first one.
That's true.
Got to have that Guinness.
Well, we've just been disjointed. It's just been a different kind of year, you know. I mean, we were late getting signed, you know, all that stuff. The lawyers arguing with each other was crazy, trying to get our stuff in a row.
That's your lawyer, man.
That is my lawyer, yeah. And so all of that, hey, everybody's, you know, you got to lawyer up. So we were doing our things and worried about contracts. And anyhow, it happened. It worked out. And I'm thankful to Gene and the fine folks at Warchant and 93.3 Real Talk Radio and SiriusXM and everybody else I work for, College Sportsbook. But there's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, you want to know how long the lawyers took for Jeff? Take a look at my start date with the company and then compare it to when we debuted the show. That'll tell you how long the lawyers went at it.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I wanted to – Jonathan Vilma had something interesting to say. I've done shows with Jonathan Vilma before. I know he's an ex-Cane, but I like him. He's probably one of my favorite ex-Canes. And he was obviously a damn good football player. But he had some interesting things to say about Urban. I'll get to it momentarily. It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Whitten Glass has been taking care of families since 1945.
Experienced, reliable professionals who offer only the best, like Whitten's top-of-the-line bath enclosures. Eye-catching storefronts are a specialty at Whitten Glass, and they provide precise installation.
Whitten Glass, Tallahassee's first family in glass. Online at whittenglass.com. Call 850-222-5781.
Reaching retirement age can bring up a lot of questions, especially regarding Social Security. In 2021, roughly 65 million Americans will receive a monthly Social Security benefit, totaling over $1 trillion for the year. Do you know how to maximize your Social Security? This is Craig Collins with Collins Income Tax Solutions, and I can help. Contact me today to schedule a free consultation to learn how you can get the most out of your Social Security. Find me online at collinsincometaxsolutionsllc.com. That's collinsincometaxsolutionsllc.com.
Hey guys, it's Greg Tish. It's summertime, it's grilling time. But with a grill that just won't light, you're just going to end up with the summertime blues. Yeah, blues and barbecue go hand in hand, but if you get a custom outdoor kitchen built from Hearth and Patio, you'll feel like a rock star every time those flames kick on. They also sell a full line of incredible high-end grills like Fire Magic, Blaze, and Broil Master, all designed to deliver the ultimate in beauty, performance, and durability. Everything you need to elevate your grilling experience can be found at Hearth and Patio. In fact, anything related to fire can be found at Hearth and Patio. Fire pits, gas lighting, indoor and outdoor fireplaces, wood stoves, and even custom-built pizza ovens. Go see for yourself. Check out their services and products online at hearthpatiotallahassee.com. That's hearthpatiotallahassee.com. Or give them a call, 850-727-4282. That's 850-727-4282. At Hearth and Patio, they keep the home fires burning.
Hey Tallahassee, this is Sarah with Seminole Auto Glass. There's so much more to auto glass than most people know. With the technology these days, lane departure, keep assist, forward collision, that camera is attached to your windshield. When the windshield gets replaced, it needs to be reset, and that's called recalibration. And Seminole Auto Glass was the first to offer it here. We offer drop-off service or mobile service if available.
Don't forget about customer service.
Oh yeah, we have the best customer service in town, and a $50 gift card with your windshield through insurance. We're more than just a glass company. We are your local auto glass experts. Better call Seminole.
If you weren't the owner of Gordo's and all those wonderful restaurants, Eddie, what would you be doing?
You know, I think I'd want to be I don't know what I'd want to be, a boat captain or a cowboy.
You know how to use a lasso?
No.
You'd have to do that if you were a cowboy.
Yeah, but I've never even been on a horse. It's not my place to be on a horse.
I agree. And the horse thanks you. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
Now when we talk about bands in all-time great bands, on average, this is certainly not true of everybody. I believe bands. Now, singer-songwriters, it can be different, and this is a more nuanced, long-form sort of podcast conversation. But bands, on the whole, typically have, again, there are outliers, 4 good records in them. It starts getting a little dicey. You might up to 4. You get 4 really like all-time great records. If you're a great band, if you're one of the all-time best bands, probably got about 4 really good records in you. Now, some to beat the band, shock all, and produce 10 great records. That's very rare, very rare. You might get 6, even 6. You're like, oh my God, 6 great albums? Bravo, bravo. But then there's the rare band that does produce, say, 4 really good records, and creatively they become stagnant. They fall to pieces. They suddenly don't like each other. You get the announcement that there are creative differences and they're going to go their own way. And then maybe, like in the case of Uncle Tupelo, you get a Wilco and a Sunvolt. Hey, there you go. All of a sudden, 2 new bands from the same old band, and both have made multiple great records. So you're like, oh, okay, good. It worked out. Great. But they couldn't do it again together, right? Jayhawks did that, broke up, started doing some solo stuff, came back together, and then made a great record 15 years after their last good one. That is a rarefied air, my friend.
It's the wrong bird. They should be called the Phoenixes.
Very well done. That's good, buddy. That's good. But yeah, that's true.
Not as good as that Jayhawks album after 15 years.
It's crazy. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. They reunite, everybody's like, oh my God, this is actually good. I thought it was going to suck. And it's great. And you're sitting there like, you keep waiting for the other shoe to drop. You're like, okay, those first 3 songs were good. Those were solid. I bet song 4, it all goes south. Here we go. Here's song 4. Let's go. Starting off well. I don't know. Maybe we're 4 for 4. Next thing you know, you're 6 songs in. And by the way, 7 through 10, it doesn't matter at this point. You gave me 6 new great songs.
Okay, so I was wondering, what's your cutoff? Like, how many songs have to be, ooh, that's another good one, in order for you to graduate an album up a class?
Up a class from average to this is a good record to this is a really good record to this is an all-timer?
Yeah, 12 songs. Let's go 12 songs is the baseline.
If you're going to give me 50% of the songs are really good songs, I'll get you to good. It's a good record. It's a good record. You get me to 8 out of the 12, that's a really good record. And then if you've got a start to finish album that is just fantastic, well, then there it is. That's it. You can't, very rarely does that happen. I didn't get into the Jonathan Billman stuff. I will this next hour.
Makes me want to spend money at that record store with the mean guy. $1,000 coming up.
Oh, we got a prize thing given away here. It's happening right now. Jeff Cameron Show, hour number 2, forthcoming. Stay with.
And $1,000.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
It's time to win some cash. And here's this hour's keyword.
Success. SUCCESS. Success.
Click on the Real Talk Money Megaphone at realtalk93.com to enter the keyword for your chance to win $1,000 in this nationwide contest. Money talks. Everything else can take a walk.
Money, money. I just can't get enough.
Coming up next, more of the Jeff Cameron Show. Live and local on Real Talk 93.3. WVFT, Greta, Tallahassee.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. Police in the Dallas-Fort Worth area continue their search for a high school shooting suspect. The shooting this morning at Timberview High School in Arlington, 4 people injured. The extent of those injuries not known. The shooting happened after a fight broke out in the school. The suspect identified as 18-year-old Timothy George Simpkins. Arlington Police Chief Tracy Aaron.
You should know at this point that this person is considered to be armed and dangerous, and I would suggest that you call 911 as soon as you see that person or you see that suspect vehicle. We're continually making those searches throughout the state.
Simpkins might be driving a 2018 Silver Dodge Charger, license plate number PFY 6260. Students at the school being loaded on buses and taken to a pickup area for their parents. Also at townhall.com, President Biden has hosted business leaders at the White House to discuss the importance of Congress lifting the federal debt limit. He warned that failure to extend the government's borrowing authority could set off a global financial crisis. At a roundtable with CEOs and business leaders, the president says lifting the debt ceiling is about paying the country's bills.
Raising the debt limit is paying our old debts. There's nothing to do with new spending or what may be coming this year or other years. There's nothing to do with my plans on infrastructure or building back better.
The new pressure comes amid talk that Democrats may try to change Senate filibuster rules to get around Republican opposition. Federal investigators say a ship's anchor may have hooked, dragged, and torn a massive underwater pipeline that spilled tens of thousands of gallons of crude oil into the water off Southern California. They also say the pipeline owner did not quickly shut down operations after a safety system alerted to a possible spill. On Wall Street, stocks have turned mixed. The Dow off 59 points, but the NASDAQ ahead 21. More at townhall.com.
When was the last time you watched your home movies? Do you have a VCR anymore? What about a film projector?
With technology constantly changing, most families don't have a way to enjoy their recorded memories, trapped on VHS, camcorder tapes, film reels, and photos.
That's why we created Legacy Box over a decade ago. Legacy Box is an affordable mailed-in kit to have your aging media digitized to DVD, thumb drive, or the cloud. Our trained technicians digitize everything by hand right here in the U.S.
Imagine being able to easily relive weddings, graduations, baby's first steps, and more. Get started future-proofing your memories today so you can gather the whole family together and begin the trip down memory lane. Plus, for a limited time, we're offering 40% off.
Visit legacybox.com/lbox to get an exclusive 40% off. Buy today to take advantage of this incredible offer and send in when you're ready. Go to legacybox.com/lbox to save 40% off. legacybox.com/lbox.
Hey, Nole fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state government, including public health and emergency response agencies, our friends at ISF recognize September as National Preparedness Month and want to help you be safe this hurricane season. Visit ISF.com to learn more and download your emergency preparedness plan today. ISF, solving the future.
These recruiting updates are nothing but fluff.
Are you wasting your time again on free blogs and social media to get the scoop on FSU recruiting?
Yeah, it's all bait and switch. You're on Warchant.com. What's really going on with FSU recruiting?
Could be another top 5 class, but for the real scoop, you'll need to get your own Warchant subscription.
What's it cost?
Free. There's a 30-day trial offer. Just sign up and you'll get full access through signing day. And nobody has more accurate and timely information than Warchant.com.
You know I like free. Sign me up.
Warchant.com. Your ultimate Seminole source.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
how healthy this team can be going into each and every week is an adventure in and of itself, right? How healthy is this team? It is vital, obviously, that they get healthier as the season wears on that offensive line and not just continue to piecemeal, and we wonder every week, because that cohesiveness on the offensive line is very important. You see sort of the disjointed, convoluted nature of their play. It's not just because they're physically reeling and struggling and therefore physically getting whipped at times. They also pass guys off to the wrong people at the wrong times. They misidentify, and that's not being on the field together each and every day in practice, working together as a unit. You need that. And so I worry about that every week. But in terms of what they're capable of, listen, I think we know what their ceiling is. It's pretty low. It's a low ceiling for this group. They're not going to aspire to pull off huge upsets against the better teams, especially the ones that have kind of put together some sound recruiting classes and then develop those for now. That's why this upcoming class is so damn important. It's why we talk about it incessantly. It's why everybody raised an eyebrow last weekend when Travis Hunter, the bell cow of the class, gets hurt. First and foremost, you get scared about the injury. Then you find out the injury's not nearly as bad as everybody thought it was, maybe just a high ankle sprain. He's going to be down for a little while. And then secondarily, you find out he's at the Georgia game, and it's not as if Georgia's not kicking ass. It's not as if Georgia doesn't have the best defense in the country, and wouldn't it be fun to be a part of that? So you worry about it. But then it was nice to see that rather cryptically he went on and commented on another recruit's Instagram post in which that player said that he was locked in still to Florida State. And I'm paraphrasing, but basically Travis Hunter said, you know it or whatever. Yeah, he's still locked in. But it makes you nervous. It's like, hey, man, I saw your girl was hanging out with Brad Pitt the other night. Oh, it's okay. We're together. We're solid. Yeah, but, they were sitting next to one another, and it's not like Brad Pitt's ugly. No, I got you. I feel good about this, though.
Was it like Urban and Columbus sitting next to each other?
That kind of getting together, that kind of hanging out. On that note, so I wondered, because I thought the number one thing that would come out of the Urban story isn't just a reminder to all, and that did happen, that came to the surface, that guy is a raging piece of crap and a liar. Okay, so all of that we knew, but this just helps remind those that had forgotten, that buy into the PR when he's sitting up at the desk on Fox talking to everybody about what it means to be a leader. And then this happens and you're like, oh, the opposite of being a leader. Got it. So he's done that repeatedly in his life and his career. And he has housed some despicable people and swept under the rug some abhorrent behavior, including his own, all of that, right? That did come to the surface, and we thought, well, will it be enough to get fired? And then Shad came out with the comments that he did, which is that he's disappointed in all of that, but he believes that the act of contrition, which would have been the press conference and talking to the team, I suppose, was legit. Now, nobody does believe that, but what I wondered about that was this, and I don't even believe Shad believes that, but I think, well, we're 4 games in. I'm going to fire this guy. We got to start all over. I'm not going to start all over now. I decided to take a risk on this guy. Surely they vetted him. If they vetted him even more than what's been on the surface for the Prester report, then they found out that he's a really terrible guy, which a lot of people have already known. So surely he already knew he was hiring a bad guy, but he did it for marketing purposes. So now he can't fire him, right? So he's going to be stuck with him for the rest of this year. But now he is contemplating, probably in his mind, I'm going to have to fire this guy at some point because there's no way I'm going to be able to get this team back, meaning him. He can't get this team back. So here's what I wanted to know, and it's why I brought up the Vilma thing. What do you do? Do you wait till the end of the year? B, do you hope that there is a for-cause reason? Of course, Meyer will sue and fight back, and then it's got to go to court. It's going to cost you even more money, which is why they haven't fired him already. But they probably know that this is sunken cost, that they have already lost it. This guy's never going to win for them. And the only reason I say that is because the veteran players who are secure in their position have enough good film. Let's just say they've been Pro Bowlers or they've been starters for 4 or 5 years. They've been really good players. They won't play for that guy, because they're also not worried about putting bad tape out there. They can put bad tape out there and get a job because people will know why that tape is out there. They'll say, oh, they gave up on that piece of crap. So that guy's already been a 3-time Pro Bowler. I know he can play. His poor play is directly linked to this loser who he doesn't trust anymore, and he won't play hard for him. But everybody else, the second string, the third string guys, the kids that are still fighting to be in this league, they can't put out bad tape. So they got to go to practice and go to war for a guy they don't believe in, but they damn sure will, because they don't have the luxury of putting out bad tape, right? So you have all that. So Meyer will get them back because they have no choice, but he'll never get the leaders back. And in particular, could he ever get Trevor Lawrence back after dragging his name into this nonsense while you're trying to deflect away from your poor behavior, which was a special kind of crappy, right? How about, I'm being asked about how my family thinks about this, about losing trust in the locker room, about what I just did, and I'm going to bring in, much the way Kobe did Shaq, by the way, back in the day, lest we forget, I know you're not allowed to say anything negative about Kobe. But anyhow, that said, I'm going to drag his name through the mud in my defense. Oh, I'm a special kind of sorry. I'm a special kind of poor leader and immoral guy. That guy is rarefied. In a weird way, we're going to end up talking about him forevermore, and we're going to hold him on high in the pantheon of a-holes that we've talked about over the years, like Ryan Braun.
Yeah, I think so. And he had to do his secondary apology this morning.
Because the first one was asinine.
Because he went by segment group instead of bringing the whole team. And I think it was Michael Lombardi was tweeting out yesterday that it's not a done deal. That Michael Silver also tweeted out
that was awesome.
From a source that the
players were laughing at him.
They laughed at him the moment he left the room, and he knew it.
And he could hear it.
Yeah, and he could hear it. Yeah.
Well, those are the veteran players.
That's where they are. So, if I'm Shad Khan, what I'm doing is I'm looking at, and this is the Lombardi tweets, I'm looking at the out clauses. They have morality clause, and then they also have a for cause, whatever, set of paragraphs of what they can fire Urban Moore and keep the money. I want to know, if I'm Shad, how long can I wait before I have to do that? Because maybe I'll let this thing play out for another week or two, let him bear the brunt of the negative PR for the organization, and then I'll cut him loose when he's at his lowest.
Well, what he's going to do.
But if I allow him to coach another 4 games, let's say, before I say, the hell with this, could I still do so for cause and invoke that? Or is it too late? Do I need to act now?
You can't do for cause because he's going to fight back on that. He's going to push back on that. And then you're going to be in the news even longer for even longer stretches of poor PR.
That's fine. If I'm the Jags, I just keep on playing on loop where his hand is when he's at the club.
Yeah, but I don't even know. I mean, the for cause stuff gets really dicey. I mean, yeah, it's a bad look, but I don't know if that's for cause.
Well, there's also a morality clause, according to Lombardi. Well,
I mean, that's going to be
by Urban Meyer's own family standards.
Well, but
is he a moral man?
No, of course he's not. But that's not a court of law. That's just this guy being full of it, which we already knew. But him being a hypocrite is not show cause. I mean,
well, it's news to Bristol. First of all, they are shocked and dismayed.
All of the organizations that have employed him, Fox, Bristol, and ESPN, all of them, everybody who's it's not. I'll tell you where it's not a shock. University of Florida, Ohio State, Utah, Bowling Green, anywhere he's ever been, his family, his friends, the coach that he housed who beat the hell out of his wife for years. Yeah, nobody's stunned by this behavior from him now, but those places might be. You're right. The 2 TV networks.
Oh, well, and they'll hire him back. He'll be. I
don't think so. I don't think he gets back.
You don't think ESPN? You don't think he'd be on the desk for halftime work of the national championship game if he's fired?
No. Not immediately. No, I think a little time would have to go by. This is a toughie, and it's also resurfaced all of the ridiculous things. The thing with Jeremy Fowler, the reporter, where he's basically threatening him, saying he's a bad guy and all that stuff. We know the Rainey stuff. We don't want to go on and on. The 31 players at Florida, including murderers.
That's right.
We can go on and on.
He valued laptops over women. Cam Newton chucked the laptop out a window. He's gone. To go,
which is really his biggest mistake.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
he'd still be there.
Yeah.
If he wanted to be.
It's like us throwing Randy Moss off the team for a joint. No, man, that's not what you do.
But then if another receiver on that team texted somebody or emailed somebody or wrote somebody a letter, that was a death threat.
It was a death threat.
I had to work my way back to 1997 or 1998 there and say, you'd probably have to write a letter, maybe spray paint a death threat on somebody's door. And Bobby would be like, oh, that's fine. Come on back. You can start against Florida State. Remember, Rainey started against us.
So what Vilma said was that the veteran players will never take him seriously again because they're already established. That's what I was paraphrasing from him about the part about those that have to handle this differently. And there are layers. It's the backups to the stars that have to show up and go to work. And the guys lowest on the totem pole have no choice but to show up and do what he says.
Just hope you like your position coach, I guess, at that point. Play for him. But I don't know. Urban hired him, so we'll see.
Yeah, for those pointing out that the JCS PR firm has a lot of work to do here, this might be our toughest case. And I've had some doozies. We've had some doozies here.
I've turned down a few in my time.
Well, you have, but the PR firm takes all comers. We have multiple employees.
That's
There's
right.
some that you deflect. I'll bring in Matthew. He'll deal with it.
That's right. He can.
Matthew, you deal with this.
You
Everybody
deal with
deserves,
Urban.
Everybody deals with proper everybody deserves proper defense. Matthew, you've got this one. It's a toughie.
As he's reviewing the case file, He looked like McConaughey or Keenan looking at the file. Let's see what I got to do with Urban Meyer today.
Ooh. Yeah, that's the call.
Or
there
the
it
levy.
is. There.
You're giving me Meyer?
I got you. Yeah, I just called Matthew at the PR firm, the newest member, thus lowest on the totem pole because he's young. Hey, Matthew, and that's him answering it right there if you're watching on the chat. Yeah, you got Meyer. We're going to take his money, so come up with something. There's the text I sent him.
Right.
That's
yeah,
the
that's
text
it. Yeah. As you're hanging up, Tom, did you hit 4-iron there?
Yeah. What kind of wind are we looking at here? And
I clubbed up. You're
he's
right.
staring at his phone.
That's a good call. Yeah. And he's just looking at the dossier.
As we sit here today, does Florida State cover the number? Gut feeling.
What's it at? 17 and change?
Pulling up right now to double check to make sure that I don't get
that
an
is
erroneous.
so
it's a slap across the face, but it's deserving.
That much?
I can't run away from it.
They got torched by Georgia Tech, and it really was kind of a sloppy win over Duke. So that's their last two pieces of football evidence that you put before the Sharps, and they say, doesn't matter. 18 points.
Well, they're looking at us, and they're like, well, I mean, sweet Jesus, everybody.
Duke had 8 sacks. Or they have 5 and Georgia Tech had 8.
Yeah,
Either way.
Yeah, it's a lot.
13 in 2 weeks against those two programs.
Yeah, it shouldn't be as many as it was. Yeah, I'm trying to double check on this number here, and I'm struggling. Boy, the Action Network can do better, everybody. Let me just, can I tell you that right now? The Action Network can do better.
There is no action to be found.
Well, they make it difficult to navigate the damn lines. They'll give you that top 20 window, and then they're like, oh, you're on your own if you're looking for anything else, everybody. You can find it, but it's very, very annoying.
All right, now you're making me scroll through.
No, I'm not. It's great radio, everybody. I apologize. Here we go. Okay, 3:30 games.
I got it.
I went straight over to the DraftKings.
I've got it. If you
No, I got it. 17 and a half.
The stubbornness.
No, 17 and a half.
Yeah, we're going to cover. 2 reasons. Number 1, D-line. Number 2, sloppy track. Little 10-point win for North Carolina. There you go.
What's the total, Tom? I know it's 64 and a half. I'm saying, what's your total?
Ooh, my total 51.
Oh, going heavy under, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Heavy under.
Little 31-21.
Hey, I've got a special for you tomorrow, and for all the people that love to read between the lines about my card for the weekend. And I did better the last week or so here on the 10 that I give for Redemption Thursday than I did in my own life. I always tell you when I do things good in my own life, even if it's bad here. Well, I got to tell you, I did good or decent here, average here, and terrible in my home life on the last card. Just took a whooping. I was due. Those first few weeks I was running away with things, and I had a comeuppance coming. I got the big head, and the next thing you knew, big swift kick to the cojones the last 10 wagers or so.
Slappy.
Oh, yeah. It'll humble you, this game, this gambling game, this degenerate game. But so that's all right. Now I'm really digging deep. This is where you get down in it. Get down in the muck. I've got first half. Well, I don't want to give it away.
Oh, that's for tomorrow.
That's for tomorrow. Matthew knows what it is, and he goes, oh, please put that in Redemption Thursday tomorrow, Jeff. You have really reached rock bottom. He cracked up.
It's a group of 5 team.
No, it's a Power 5, but
Okay.
it's like we're in the weeds here. We're trying to find those valuable numbers, Tom. I'm not having another week like the week I just had. That's why Alabama first quarter has been a rock solid ATM.
Yep.
They used to be first half. Now it's just first quarter. First quarter Alabama numbers. Cash money, homie. But the other numbers are a little less.
We were also told to play Georgia first quarter by one of our listeners who contributed last week, and he was correct.
He was 100% correct. Not only that,
was the first quarter for the ages.
Georgia's just stomping people's face in. My favorite play of the young college football season is the goal line touchdown that they had against Arkansas with the tight end or the defensive tackle leading the way, number 85.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it 100 times. If we've ever had a block like that in the last 7 years.
Well, then you also have 99 who's wearing the hoodie.
I mean, it's just
he's like 380.
Oh, it's the best. No, that team is my favorite team to watch play football right now. I don't know in the modern world if you can win a national championship playing the way they play, but I hope you can. I hope you can, because I got him at plus 800, but I hope you can.
There it is.
There's Tom.
Yeah, he was the one.
Look into that Bama UGA first quarter spread. It's been epic 6-0 the last 3 weeks. I know, Tom, you were there for us too. Tom Hayden, you were there for us. I don't know how I just looked the other way. It's like I got to jump on the trend there. That there's a time when trends matter.
This is that time.
Well, you saw it didn't take long.
Auburn plays pretty good defense, though, so that'll be an interesting test for Georgia this weekend.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
If you're looking at first quarter numbers, yeah. They come out, get a couple of stops because they mix up the scheme a little bit.
Okay, so that number is 15.5, by the way, for total.
The game?
Yeah, the game.
All right.
Let's go halves. Here we go. Halves. All right. What do we got for Georgia? This is Wednesday. I shouldn't do that. I'm not going to do that. We'll leave it alone. I will mention it later in the show, but I'm not going to get down in the muck for this.
You're reading it again. I can hear it in your voice. It's getting you.
I'm looking.
I shouldn't do that. The number here is.
They're favored for the half by 7.5 points, but I want team total halves. Mm-hmm. That's where I'm a little team total action. By the way, a lot of good games. So underrated. I mean, think about how good Iowa Penn State is.
Yeah, it's so good it should be game day.
I know.
Not the Red River. What are we doing?
Well, I think that's a great game too, though.
They're kowtowing to the future SEC opponents. That's what they're doing. ESPN is pumping that SEC.
Red River is a big deal, and Iowa has already been involved in a college game day, Tom, in fairness. So is Penn State. So, I mean,
Yeah, we can't have imbalance, especially when we've got two new huge members of the SEC coming in the next couple of years.
But let's not pretend Oklahoma and Texas aren't massive brands and that's not one of the great rivalries in college football. Not everything is a conspiracy. I mean, it's a 3-point spread. It's a great game.
Yeah, for what stakes, though? I mean,
to win the first place in the Big 12 is on the line. I know we're talking about the future of the Big 12 as being obsolete. That's fine, but currently it's not. And one of those two teams is going to be in first place after this weekend. It's a battle for the catbird seat or whatever they say.
Oh, thank you, Paul Azinger.
Yeah, there it is.
God, just when I had him out of my life.
I did it just for you.
He's in the catbird seat now.
It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3.
I didn't cheat, but I cheated, though. It's pretty good, right?
Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Just a call away. 222-7722. Heating and cooling is the job we do. Systems, service, installation too. 222-7722. Parker Services. Comfort's just a call away.
Hey, it's Jeremy with Parker Services, here to tell you about Remy Halo Whole Home Air Purification, which works with your existing HVAC system to reduce bacteria, viruses, mold, odors, and allergens in every cubic inch of air-conditioned space in your home. Call to learn more about how this technology can improve your indoor air quality. And hey, if you know your AC has seen better days and it's time to upgrade, we're including a Remy Halo with every new installation through the end of the month. Give us a call or find us online at TallahasseeAC.com.
Parker Services. Comfort's just a call away.
Florida license number CMC 050334.
Applications, onboarding, payroll, termination. Business owners and managers, these are the processes that take away too much time from what you do best. But what if there was a locally owned, responsive solution that would charge you a fraction of the big national payroll companies? Sound too good to be true? It's not. North Florida Payroll Services is Tallahassee owned for nearly 15 years. And in that time, their prices have never changed. The reason North Florida Payroll Service can do that? Exceptional customer service that constantly evolves with the latest technology. From application to termination, for turnkey service for your payroll and HR services, trust a Tallahassee expert and save yourself time and money. North Florida Payroll Services. Online at northfloridapayroll.com.
What's important when shopping at a gun store? Let's start with a friendly and knowledgeable staff. Then add top-notch service, great selection and pricing, and a personal shopping experience only found at a locally owned and operated business. And Red Hills Arms, they're right on target. While other gun stores come and go, Red Hills Arms remains Tallahassee's go-to local gun store for all your firearms needs. Stop by today and get welcomed in like family.
Is your business interested in exploring safe, secure, remote access capabilities for your employees? Not sure whether to go with a Mac or with a Windows system? Call the folks at Mac & More Systems, and they can give you the guidance to make the best decision for your needs. Visit macandmoresystems.com today.
When you need a plumber quick, How long is an acceptable time to have to wait?
Yeah, hey, it's the Millers again. Just calling you about our little plumbing problem.
2 hours?
Hey, we were hoping you can get here soon because the water is getting really bad. I mean, please hurry.
4 hours?
I know you said you were on your way, but, honey, tell the kids to tread water.
8 hours?
Don't worry about us. We're fine.
At M&L Plumbing, you'll never have to wait long for quality, dependable service, right when you need it. At M&L Plumbing, we listen to our customers, and our qualified technicians aim to achieve 100% customer satisfaction. So the next time you need plumbing work or repairs, think of the name M&L Plumbing, your local plumbing experts, commercial or residential. Give us a call, 850-575-9393, or visit us online at mndlplumbing.com. M&L Plumbing, for all of your plumbing needs.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
That's what you sound like when you crush the wicked.
Will won a wicked last week. All right. You got to get by there and scarf that bad boy down, right, Will? You're right. It's Wicked Wednesday, and we're going to give you a free Wicked Wednesday gift certificate. A Wicked gift certificate. You don't want to use it today. Today's a Wednesday. You get it for $5 right now. It's 5 meats, 3 cheeses. It's damn delicious, but you don't want to use it today. You want to use it on a day where it's decidedly more expensive. Then get your free Wicked. Which Wicked Wednesday is here, and that means it's just $5. 5 meats, 3 cheeses, $5. Tallahassee listeners, viewers only. Okay, that's it. If you're calling in to get this gift certificate, don't be an ass. Don't be calling from Albany. No,
you could make the drive, unless it was Albany, New York,
Albany. Yeah, no, don't be doing it. Don't call me from NOLA. You've got to be here. Okay. All right, cue to call. It's now. Caller 2. What's the damn number?
It is 386 8255. 386 talk.
Yep, 386 talk. Make it happen. Caller 2, 386 talk. Free Wicked from our friends at Witch.
What's
They're
the
great
damn
people.
number, he says.
Yeah, that's it. What you got here for me, Auburn? What are you doing? First half total. Oh, I found it, Tom.
What did you find?
I got to be honest with you. Do you really? I mean, this is a stunningly large number. I do not believe this is true. I think I have another first half under total for everybody out there. I'm just going to, here it is, everybody. Let's all jump in together. You ready? That cannot be right. That cannot be right. That number is 23.5. That can't be solely for Auburn. It cannot be. That has to be the total for the game for the first half. Okay. I read it wrong. Sorry about that. Let's double check it. Yeah, okay, I knew it. That is now, you can, well.
Oh, man, the numbers. He's doing some calculating, people. This is how behind the scenes Redemption Thursday picks are made. That's how the sausage is made, everybody.
It's 7.5 for Auburn in the first half. No, I'm not going to touch that. That's a better number.
7.5.
That tells you how good Georgia's defense is. Auburn team total first half against Georgia is at 7.5.
That's not the spread.
No, that's not the spread. That's team total. First half, 7.5.
Oh, my.
You know what the team total is in the second half for them? 6.5.
So they put them on 14 points is what you're saying.
They're basically saying they're about to take an ass beating. Yeah. Well, it doesn't 31-14. That's what that number is.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense to me. That sounds about right.
Yeah, it does. Again, considering if Auburn is invested for 60 minutes, they play pretty good defense. So that's the thing. That's what you're banking on there. If you're looking at the unders, if you're looking at a lower scoring game.
You know, I don't want. I spoke to a guy covering Auburn today, or yesterday actually. We're doing a preview for Georgia Auburn on the College Sports Book today. I got to do the second half of that and talk to the Georgia guy on YouTube. You guys can subscribe to the College Sports Book, and you'll get those previews, and you'll learn from those there. Normally for Georgia, I talked to Rodney DeBolsi. I'm talking to one of his underlings today, right after the show. And I look forward to it because I learned a lot of things about these teams. At Auburn, the funny and interesting talking point is, they got to win at LSU for the first time in like 25, 30 years. It's insane, right? They never win in Baton Rouge, and so they did. And, of course, that was the impetus all of a sudden for Ed Orgeron to find himself on an even hotter seat than he was already on, which then in turn leads to a larger talking point, which is we're accelerating Ed Orgeron's demise at LSU, which means the conversation centers around Jimbo Fisher at Texas A&M because his best friend is right there as the AD at LSU. But when you're looking at Jimbo, they're starting to get upset. Imagine that, as they just shower him with money and give extensions for no reason whatsoever, as they did this offseason. Now, articles being written about Texas A&M, quote, deserves better than Jimbo Fisher. And that was written today. I don't know if you saw that piece in which they skewered him.
It was mentioned. I didn't read it. It was in our mentions though today.
It's worth reading.
Yeah.
They're not holding back. And they're pointing to the fact that, home losses to Mississippi State, you're paying a lot of money to lose.
You're killing our circulation, pal.
Yeah. You're paying a lot of money to lose at home to Mississippi State, my man. And they also pointed to the one good season he's had came during the COVID year. I kind of pointed that out last year when everybody was going nuts about them needing to be in the top 4. I'm like, I don't know, man.
That O-line was good last year, though.
It was really good.
They've got some problems. They didn't replenish a couple of positions.
Well, also, there was the little stutter mistake in the post game when he was asked about his defensive coordinator, who's a really good defensive coordinator in Elko. He was asked whether they played too soft in coverage, and he said yes, and then he caught himself, went, we'll have to go back and look at it. Here it comes. It's starting. It's starting. We've watched it play out.
So he'll take his 8 best players for interconference transfers to LSU because now that there's a one strike.
I don't think he's leaving. He's got more money than God. I mean, I don't believe it. I would just say this, and
that's not what matters.
This is a larger, that's for sure. He is a guy who I don't think cares all that much about money, oddly enough. But one thing to note,
except for facilities.
Well, and there's a valid reason for him to care about money in some regards, and that's a personal thing, which I'm not getting into because that's one aspect that nobody wants to see turn out poorly. We want that to work out for him. But I have said before, and this is not about an axe to grind with Coach Fisher and where Florida State finds itself. He's one of the preeminent coaches in college football. He is the second highest paid coach in the game. So you can't ignore the larger talking points in college football and the dominoes that fall and who's going where. And certainly this all matters because we're playing LSU like next year. So, you're kind of wondering about these things aloud because it's very fascinating. How far does Florida State have to go? We only need to concern ourselves with that. I get it. But at the same time, we look at future schedules and we think of, okay, where are we going to be when we play this team? Where are we going to be when we play Alabama? And, and that's a nightmare spot. Yeah.
If I was LSU, who I'd go after, it's not Jimbo.
No.
Joe Brady. I go get him back. I go say, you know what?
Yes.
You've had a couple of years in the NFL as a coordinator.
Yes.
Let's bring you back as a head coach here at LSU, and your reputation speaks for itself. We'll have Joe Burrow go stump for you in the offseason to talk to any major quarterback transfer or freshman.
Well, he's the hero there because they know he's the real reason they won the national championship.
100%.
Everybody knows he was a boy wonder coordinator. He'd been with the Saints. He gave a speech. The LSU coaches were there visiting Sean Payton. In that speech, he kind of laid out on the whiteboard what it is his philosophy was offensively and why he thought it would work and what they repped there under Payton. This is actually a feather in the cap of Payton because Payton recognized him as an up-and-coming superstar and didn't have the ego to worry about it, but rather hired him instead of being concerned about it. Unlike what you see with Nagy at Chicago, where he can't give his offensive coordinator credit for a better game plan last week. He has to take it all.
That's a Dirk Cutter move.
We've seen it before.
We ran
right?
the Bucs offense.
Oh, yeah, we ran the Bucs offense. Come on, don't be an ass, man. He called a good game. Give the man credit. Anyhow, that said, when that happens, they hired him. Okay, so good for you, Ed. You at least you had a brain on your in your head there. You realized, oh, I need somebody like that. That guy's solid, and he's being paid nothing right now because he started out as an intern there. So then they're like, okay, well, we'll hire you and we'll give you some good money, and it's life-changing money at that. He comes in, does exactly what they thought he would do. He takes Joe Burrow, who was at the time a pedestrian quarterback, and turns him into God's gift to football in the world that year, 2 years ago, and all of a sudden. 60 touchdowns. We forget about this all the time. Go back and look at the numbers. It's the greatest season in the history of sport. It's insane. So he does that, or at least collegiate football offensively. And he goes in and does that. Then he gets the job with Carolina Panthers because Matt Rule's a good coach and a smart man as well. And he gets to the NFL and realizes, okay, I'm transitioning, better find some smart guys. And he's done a good job. He may be the exception, not the rule, Matt Rule, that is, because, see what I did there? Because he's smart enough to know that when you come from college, you're going to need really good assistants, and you're going to have a period of adaptation that is difficult. Most college coaches struggle when they first enter the league. So surround yourself with smart people.
And oddly enough, Brady had NFL experience, even though his first coordinator job was in college.
Correct.
Right.
So there it is.
So he knew how to run a professional organization.
That's smart. Yeah. That's what you do. That's what a leader does. You don't do what Urban did, which is all the things that he has now done in a very short period of time to screw things up.
I just care about, my players. I've always cared about them. And Trevor was in Vegas.
Well, when Trevor was going to Vegas, I told him.
His fiance doesn't know about this, so you guys keep it between us. But Trevor was in Vegas, and I said, be careful, man. Be careful. I've seen it.
All time great. It would be fascinating, though, and just the fact.
That'd be a problem. We go out to NOLA, and it's Joe Brady that we're
I don't want any part. I don't even like that he's in. You're talking about when he's at LSU. I don't like that he's in our division. I mean, with the Bucs.
Oh, right. Yeah.
He's good.
Right.
I don't want that kid. I don't want him around. Interestingly enough, I know somebody that knows him exceptionally well.
Do I know this person?
You don't. He's one of my neighbors. And it goes back a ways, and it's fascinating how he thinks and how he got to where he was and all that. There's nothing new under the sun. When your players talk, they'll tell you even the most forward-thinking, progressive coordinators, defensively or offensively, are in many ways rating principles that have already existed. Sometimes it's a hodgepodge of many, and then they meld them together. But because this is the day-to-day, hour-to-hour, minute-to-minute job in which people are paid millions and millions of dollars, it quickly gets recognized for what it is. Like the Wildcat holds people, surprises people, including the great Bill Belichick and others, for a game. You spring that on somebody, they're like, oh, well, damn it, we didn't rep this. We're screwed. Okay, got it. We're just going to have to wear this one. But now the cat's out of the bag. And the whole league then starts looking at that. And then somebody goes, oh, hey, this is 1947. This is what they're doing. And it's all based on this, this, and this. And here's the spacing. Okay, this is what we're going to do. And then it dictates terms and it flips and everybody figures it out. But it's interesting to me when you get a guy who walks into the league and goes, well, I got something for you. I got a little something. I mean, what it takes to walk in. Yeah.
The visual element. They understood what you were trying to say.
I mean, imagine to be that age as he was, to walk in and work for Sean Payton and go, hey, man, I got something for you. What do you think of this? Ta-da! And then have them be like, whoa, man.
Thank you, offensive coordinator Dave Chappelle.
It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
Florida Highway Patrol was investigating a fatal crash on Highway 19 at Beach Road after a semi-truck hit a pedestrian. The on-scene investigation revealed the truck was traveling south on U.S. Highway 19. For reasons unknown at this time, a 67-year-old female pedestrian entered the roadway in the truck's path. Following the collision, the truck came to a controlled stop. The pedestrian sustained fatal injuries as a result of this crash. A Tallahassee man, 44-year-old Scott Neese, was arrested for 87 counts of child porn on Monday. Following a TPD investigation that began when police received a cyber tip, the tip showed that a Yahoo email account user uploaded suspected child sexual abuse material to their account on or around February 2nd. It was determined Scott Neese uploaded child sexual abuse material to multiple emails, which he then sent to himself. Police executed a search warrant for Neese's home, seizing Neese's cell phone and tablet, and found 87 images and videos of child porn on those devices. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 Local News Update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at macklemoresystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Scattered thunderstorms likely this afternoon, otherwise overcast skies. Highs around 78, winds out of the southeast, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Scattered thunderstorms likely. Tonight, lows dip down to about 70. Overcast skies. Isolated thunderstorms likely. Tomorrow, highs around 86. Mainly cloudy skies expected. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 74.
See Nice Tire and Auto Service at 4792 Bluntstown Highway today. The ASE trained technicians at Nice take the guesswork out of fixing your car. That's why wherever you see the Goodyear sign, you'll find what you want in tires and service. From preventative maintenance to a major overhaul and everything in between, you name it. Plus, Nice's services are backed by a nationwide limited warranty. Stop by Nice Tire and Auto Service. 4792 Bluntstown Highway, just west of Capitol Circle.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Greg Tish, Real Talk 93.3.
Thursday morning right here on the Greg Tish Show starting at 6 a.m. on Real Talk 93.3. We welcome in the phenomenal Dr. James Ryan Finn. We also welcome in Deputy Chief Jones from the Tallahassee Fire Department as he'll be filling in for Sarah Cooksey. Sarah wanted to talk about Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Tomorrow, we will talk about what Sarah wanted to talk about with breast cancer awareness. All starts at 6 a.m. right here on Real Talk 93.3.
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
To make sure you have a clue what's going on if there's breaking news. And for some reason, I saw a hashtag Eddie Van Halen trending, and I did the thing where I went, oh, no. And then I went, oh, no, he's already dead. What am I doing?
It's the anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I temporarily forgot. I just saw Eddie Van Halen was tweeting, not tweeting, but trending. And I went, oh, no. Oh, he's dead. What are you doing? The oh, no already happened, Jeff. Oh, man. We can't have trees falling on our roofs, but it does happen on occasion, especially if you live where Tom does. Trees everywhere. It's beautiful scenery.
Yeah.
But it could be a problem.
Need some removed, too.
Well, there you go. Got to get them removed. But T-Spark, if those trees are to fall on your home, he's going to be there for you.
It's already happened once.
Structural damage or come in and inspect the roof, all that good stuff. Did I say instructural? That would be weird. Structural damage. T-Spark is one phone call guy because he can fix the roof, but his people, well, they're licensed contractors. They can also take care of any structural damage. If you suffer from storm damage, T-Spark knows how to work with the insurance companies and help navigate the insurance process to help put your home back to pre-claim condition. That's wind damage, missing shingles, roof problems, all of it. T-Spark Enterprises Roofing and Construction, 850-766-1340. Boom.
I can tell you when he first came out to my house, we did a whole consultation. It wasn't just on the roof because he's got so much experience with everything from the ground up that we looked at the foundation, we looked at irrigation, we looked at everything. So it's even beyond just the business of coming and checking your roof every few months, which is a service that I have. If you have fundamental questions about what do you think about this, he's seen it all. He's a really good guy to ask. So just remember that. Keep that in mind next time you call him.
So I don't know, because we hyper-focus on our own shortcomings or our team's own shortcomings, and they're always in the back of our minds, and others forget about it. If they're yours or your teams, people aren't paying attention nearly as much as we think they are, and that's true, too, of the teams that we love. Like any Met tragedies, I know some Met tragedies, but I don't know the day-to-day problems with
the
Mets.
hiring of Ray Ramirez, sure.
Right. I don't know like the day-to-day problems with the Mets. You do. You watch them carefully. You read about the Mets. You follow the team reporters and all that. You could come in on a random Tuesday and say, you know what, we got a real problem here. This trainer is not working. This coach is not working. We're not doing this and this and this. We're last and whatever. Okay. Well, I don't know if it occurred to you last night as Boston was tattooing the fake ace, but did it not remind you of a certain game that we watched together at the CP? Because it's the same damn game.
Yeah.
The exact same game.
Yeah,
the exact same moment.
Yeah, his wild card ERA is absurd. And actually, I saw the splits. Hembo from Get Up. He puts out great stats. He makes a lot of people look smart at that network.
Oh, of course he does.
A lot of people look smart. Maybe they wouldn't otherwise. But he showed the splits from Garrett Cole's ERA, K per 9, all the advanced metrics from before they instituted the foreign substance rule and after. And in the aftermath of that rule being in place, his ERA is over 4. And what killed him in that game, I did watch the beginning of it. You'll be proud of me. I watched some baseball last night. But it's the Devers at bat. He's got Devers 1 and 2, and he tries to get cute to strike him out. That's the only reason Bogarts comes up. It's 2 out, nobody on. A 1-2 count. And he tries to play the high-low game, get him a chase out of the zone. His fastball command was off last night anyway.
Yeah.
But he got cute. Next thing you know, it's 3 and 2, and you can't really offer him a pitch in that situation, and Bogarts is up, and the rest is history. They're off and running. But yeah, 2+. I'll bet you smiled ear to ear as he got yanked because, Fenway went nuts. That place was unbelievable last night.
Pretty cool, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But everything to the man, Kyle Schwarber going yard.
Yeah.
We sat and watched it in the game that
that's right.
we had to have.
Well, that pitch was at his eyes, and he hit it.
I know. That's not a bad pitch. Kyle Schwarber's really good at hitting home runs.
Yep.
But he hit a Titanic blast against my Pirates in a 1-game winner-take-all wildcard game, a team that won 98 games.
You don't see home runs go that far in that ballpark very often.
No, we've walked that ballpark.
Yes, that
wasn't to the red seat, but it's
that's
far.
a prodigious dong, is what that is.
My goodness, what do we have here? A future star on our hands. Yeah, so it was something to behold there, and it did make me smile because that start so mirrored the start in Pittsburgh and several others that we had to have.
Yeah, there's a lot of symmetry there, too, because you have the level of Kyle Schwarber, who was here playing for Indiana years
I told
ago.
my wife last night, I once saw Schwarber hit a dong that's still traveling.
Yep, went off the circus tent.
Yes, it did.
I said, look at that. They've got their own DJ Stewart. No, they've got a better player.
Got a better player.
At least a hitter. They got a better hitter.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. And, by the way, to your point, those stats read as follows. April to May, 11 starts. He had a 1.78 with an 0.83 whip. 10.8 Ks per walk, K to walk ratio. Oh my goodness.
K to walk?
Yeah.
Oh,
so it was 10.8 to 1. Yeah, that'll work. It's unbelievable. And then he had given up a total of 5 home runs and a 530 OPS allowed. June to October, 20 starts since they instituted the foreign substance rule on June the 3rd. So here it is. 4.31 with 1.23 and a 4.4 K to walk. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Worlds different.
Yeah.
725 OPS
That's
allowed.
the number. That's the number. 4.4. You slash the strikeout to walk ratio in half. That tells you all you need to know about control and where it was coming from.
Also gave up 21 home runs in that time. So, yeah. But now a lot of dominant fastball pitchers get ahead with the fastball, throw 99 up in the zone. If a guy's sitting dead red using ambush tactics, you can go ahead and get a hold of him.
It is Yankee Stadium most of the time.
Well, right. I mean, that can happen. But that was out of any park, so so was the first one.
No, I'm saying the numbers would factor in.
Yeah, they would factor in. But if you hit 98 at your eyes and you sit on it and you're on top of it, that's going to go a long way. That is going to go a long way.
And it did.
And so the beauty of the Yankees losing last night is that, again, they had worked so hard to get back to that place, so very hard to give themselves a chance. They fought, they kicked, they clawed, they got to 92 wins. Here's their opportunity. And 3 hours later, suck it. Go watch the rest of the postseason.
Yeah, well, you can go back down to train in Tampa and just go across the bay and watch the Rays play games.
It's a beautiful thing for a quarter of the salary structure.
That's right. And for $20, you can get really good seats.
Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3, Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. Come back. We'll give you the starters for the game. Wait, more baseball tonight. Woo-hoo-hoo. I'm excited.
Hi, I'm Jeff, founder of Which Superior Sandwiches, and I'm here to tell you about our signature witch, the Wicked. Why call it the Wicked? Some say it's wicked tasty, some say it's wicked large. One thing's for sure, with oven-roasted turkey, ham, pepperoni, roast beef, and bacon, as well as your choice of 3 cheeses, it definitely takes you from wicked hungry to wicked happy in just a few wicked good bites. Only at Which Superior Sandwiches.
On Wednesday, the Wicked is just $5. 5 meats, 3 cheeses, $5.
Barry knows cool. He's keeping you comfortable. Barry knows cool. You can pull
Tyler from Barano Heating and Air. This summer, you can save money and stay comfortable. Ask about our annual service agreement with no overtime charges ever. At Barano Heating and Air, we're always there for you.
Online at VeranoAC.com. Florida license CAC 1816-186.
For about 50 years, Paul's Termite and Pest Control has been protecting homes and businesses for thousands of people right here in the Big Bend. And we're quite proud of that. Fact is, all of us here at Paul's have families, and nothing is more important to us than their protection. By providing effective termite and pest treatments, we know we're aiding many right here in our community.
Paul's Termite and Pest Control performs many services designed for the protection of your family and your home. Programs like Pro Shield Complete, which encompasses termite and general pest control in one low-cost quarterly treatment plan. This program is environmentally friendly and is almost exclusively limited to exterior treatments, meaning pests and termites never enter your home. Termite programs like Centricon, a service which requires no invasive drilling or liquid applications. Plus, our lawn care team keeps lawns and ornamentals green and healthy.
Protection of your family, your home, and our environment all are very important to each of us at Paul's. To learn more about our many programs, please visit us at callpauls.com.
For the elimination of termites or any other pests.
And a greener lawn, too.
Call Paul's. We'll get them all.
Whitten Glass has been taking care of families since 1945.
Experienced, reliable professionals who offer only the best, like Whitten's top-of-the-line bath enclosures. Eye-catching storefronts are a specialty at Whitten Glass, and they provide precise installation.
Whitten Glass, Tallahassee's first family in glass. Online at whittenglass.com. Call 850-222-5781.
If you weren't the owner of Gordo's and all those wonderful restaurants, Eddie, what would you be doing?
You know, I think I'd want to be I don't know what I'd want to be, a boat captain or a cowboy.
You know how to use a lasso?
No.
You'd have to do that if you were a cowboy.
Yeah, but I've never even been on a horse. It's not my place to be on a horse.
I agree. And the horse thanks you. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
You track the highest paid assistants. Now, I'm going to use, I was looking at what Tony Elliott's number was back in February when he got a raise. But, okay, so I have a list. This is at the end of last year. So I need to take a look at any bumps that guys got for this year. But we're going to be in the ballpark. So you're asking about ballpark numbers. Obviously, you start with Brent Venables, right? So let's say Florida State decides they need a new DC at the end of this year. Not entirely out of the question. In fact, I think it's trending in that direction. So let's say they decide that they're going to make a change. Well, you're not going to get Venables, but if you did, if you wanted to get him, you'd be giving him around $2.5 million a year.
Yep. I just looked up Dan Lanning's number.
What is that?
1.7 to 1.8. So you probably have to come with 2 in order to get him out.
Well, he made a run at him already. That's who he first tried to hire.
I know.
Yeah, and he couldn't get him.
Make a second run.
If you're Dan, why would you leave?
You get out
your own guy from Kirby.
Okay. Yes.
To answer, I answered my own question. I don't know why I made that rhetorical. Yeah. So yeah, I agree with you. You'd have to throw 2.5, and say, "Come save us."
2.25.
Yeah.
Performance incentives.
Barry Odom at Arkansas, 1.75, 1.8.
Barry Odom.
He's a good coach.
All right.
Todd Grantham's at Florida. We're not getting him, but not that much, but it's $2 million.
He's up and down anyway. You don't want that guy.
Okay. How about Elko's tired of Jimbo's nonsense? I like him a lot. 2.2 million is what he's getting.
Yeah, I figured A&M's got to overpay.
You got to overpay.
Keep people in that market, but they've got the money to do it, so they don't care.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about. I mean, if you go back far enough, it's insane. Think about what Auburn had to pay Kevin Steele's sorry ass. $2.5 million. Bo Pelini at LSU was making $2.3 million.
Is he really?
Well, it was. Yeah.
Oh, he was.
Yeah,
okay.
So I don't know. I mean, and if you go offensive numbers, there were guys that, it's just absurd numbers. I mean, just you had Sarkisian was making almost $3 million at Alabama before he became the head coach at Texas.
Well, Lane did for that particular position, offensive coordinator at Alabama, what Tiger Woods did for the PGA Tour. Like, it's just automatically from the legacy of making that offense explosive and dynamic. He just raised everybody else's salaries that came after him.
Oh, man. I am curious. It's interesting. Everybody's been wanting, to start looking at these numbers, and we're going to have to do it. We're going to have to start looking at these numbers because, truthfully, I mean, don't you think it looks like we're trending in that direction? If they are unable to make adjustments in game to little things, there's a lost in translation conversation happening here. That's really frustrating because I do think that Fuller knows what he's doing, but they're not connecting.
It's time to host a car wash. That's right. We got to do the car wash. Doak Campbell parking lot. Raise some money.
Well, you're going to end up, you got to be very careful who you hire and fire and how it works. So, obviously we've got certain delicacies we've got to be aware of because there are certain kids that are on the hook that we
That's
need.
correct.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
All right, here we go. It's time for tonight's matchup, and we'll do this from our friends at North Florida Payroll Services, locally owned for nearly 15 years, offering payroll and HR services, including full online applicant onboarding, integration into payroll. Save your company money and headaches today. Head to northfloridapayroll.com.
It's time for, how you say, with the pitching, probably?
Won't last long. We got one game. Here it is. It's Adam Wainwright who has found a way to turn back time, so says Cher. Unreal. The season he's had. You can't buy that he's going to mow through the Dodgers lineup, can you? Max Scherzer goes for the Dodgers. The Cardinals defy logic. That's why I can't assume that they won't win this game. But it is kind of absurd that the LA Dodgers find themselves in a position to have to play a one-game one-off. We got to get Major League Baseball to kind of recalibrate this. It's pretty dumb to have a team win 105 games. And here you go, let's play in a little one game.
Well, if it was the old school way of doing things, they wouldn't have won the division and they would have gone home outright.
Well, that's the very old school, but I'm saying since we've instituted wild cards and all of that, I think you got to look at, it's tough. It's not about, baseball's not meant to be played one game winner take all.
Yeah, but
give me a 2 or 3.
If the Dodgers lose, so be it.
It will not hurt my feelings, just like it didn't hurt my feelings last night to watch the Yankees peace out. It was glorious. Then again, are you going to be really excited to see the Cardinals move on?
No, I'm not thrilled about it. I got the Giants, the Rays, and that's about it. Those are the only 2 teams I really care about.
I'm all in on the Rays. They've done everything but win the World Series. They've already,
that'd be fun.
They've done everything. Boy,
add to the
people
legacy
already
of Tampa.
tired. Tampa, my God, they're so tired of Tampa. They're just like, here's some more right here in your grill.
I can't buy that hat. If I did, I'd have to do it in true Tampa fashion and leave the sticker on it.
No, I'd buy the Rays hat. I mean, that's my second club. I'm a Pirates fan through and through, but the Pirates, I was, Rays didn't exist when I was a kid. I could don that cap. Plus, that organization is so well run, it is to be admired. Just wish that they played in a different stadium. And I have fond memories of going to Ferg's across the street from when they originally played there and having a good time at Ferg's and walking across those train tracks and going over into the stadium and the whole deal.
I fell in love with sports at the Thunderdome. It's the same building.
Same dome. Yeah. And oh, by the way, don't look now. 2-time back-to-back Stanley Cup defending champion Tampa Bay Lightning ready to hit the ice next week. Woo.
Next Tuesday.
So let it be a moment. The Tiger Slam. Rays win.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Bucks own it. Lightning 2 times.
Total ownage.
You gotta go? I thought I had a full minute left.
Nope, we gotta go.
Gotta go. Bye, everybody. Be good. You know when you have to make a hard choice, like between chocolate brownie fudge or lavender ice cream? Lavender ice cream, huh? Well, where it gets really tough is choosing an internet and wireless carrier. Like, do you choose fast gig speed internet or one that blocks malware? And then what about wireless? Do you choose unlimited with 5G or the most reliable network nationwide? Or wireless that's #1 in customer satisfaction? Well, with Xfinity, you don't have to choose because you can get all of that with Xfinity. It's internet and wireless so good it keeps one upping itself. Get Xfinity Internet and mobile together for $35 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Switch today. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Ends 10/11/21. Restrictions apply. New performance starter internet customers only. Equipment, taxes, fees, extra and subject to change. After term, regular rate supply. Compares optimizing price to top carriers. Xfinity Internet required.
Hero Show takes over from 3 to 5. Coming up next on Real Talk 93.3 WVFT.